Bangor, in Northern Ireland. The Illuminator. Chapter 1. Celts, Romans, Christians and Vikings. In the year 822, a small force of Norse longships slid silently along the coast of a peaceful Irish loch. These were pagan adventurers from the fjords of southwest Norway, a distant frozen land of craggy coasts and deep sea lochs. Hence the Irish name, Lochland. Each sleek dragon-headed vessel was loaded with armoured warriors known to the Irish as the Lochlanders. The Lochlands of Scandinavia were violent places on the northern edge of the world. Heathen peoples dwelt there, people who retained the ancient pagan beliefs of northern Europe. These were often hostile to Christian civilization. From this remote fringe of northern Europe, the Vikings sailed forth, crossing, connecting, and exploring the northern seas. A 5-day voyage across the fierce North Channel brought their vessels to northern Scotland. From there they headed further west to circumnavigate North Britain and sail along the narrow chain of islands that led south to Ireland. They used sails and oars to navigate a safe passage through nautical hazards and rough weather. Treacherous currents tore along the rocky coasts, where tidal races in whirlpools snared vessels and drew them into their doom. The fear of imminent storms and shipwreck was omnipresent, but the crews of these longships were not daunted, for their gods were beings of the elements, the wind and the thunder. The men who made this journey were traders, settlers, adventurers, and warriors. When the coast of Antrim and Down came into view, the sea passage between Britain and Ireland narrowed into a short channel. Here the lookouts on the Norse ships would have sighted their objective on the low grey horizon, a large broad sea loch on the North Irish coast. Sheltered on the southern shore of this loch was a prosperous place, a sacred site renowned across Christian Europe as a centre of study, knowledge, and learning. With a favourable wind on their aft, the Norsemen reefed their sails and glided into the shallow, sandy bay. A signal was passed quickly and quietly down the men, cramped on the rowing decks. They carefully set down their oars, donned their steel helmets and hide tunics, and took up their heavy iron-rimmed shields. They armed themselves with spears, axes or long swords, and slipped silently ashore in the pre-dawn half-light. They would stalk inland, along the banks of the Silver Stream, or take the hidden valley past the Southwell to their objective. But why had these distant foreigners come to Ireland, so far from their barren homelands? What was their intent, and why had they come in particular to Bangor? The Norse Lochlanders were approaching a major centre of Christian civilization, but they were bringing chaos and death. It is often said that medieval Ireland was a land of saints and scholars. Among these Irish sites of learning, one place stood supreme as a beacon of knowledge, source of missionary connectivity, and the home of saints. Comgall, Columbanus, Gall, Malachy. As the Ulster politician, historian, and practicing medical doctor Ian Adamson once stated, there was a time when Bangor was known across medieval Europe as the light of the world. What follows is the story of early Bangor and its place in illuminating Western Europe. My name is Dr. Raoul McLaughlin. I was born and raised in Bangor, on the shores of Belfast Lough. This place has a distant historical past that is well known to its people and is still celebrated across Central Europe. Bangor was founded to become the site of a great Celtic monastery, a leading centre of Christian scholarship in the Dark Ages. It was a religious settlement and community known as Bangor Moor, Great Bangor. It was a place where ancient knowledge of the Greek and Latin languages was preserved. Texts and scriptures were copied, enhanced, and above all honoured. To understand the importance of Bangor, it is necessary to look far beyond the Irish shores and focus on events extending far back into the distant past. Chapter 2. Hereford, the Mappa Mundi and the Medieval World. The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, the world, and they that dwell therein. Psalm 24.